Okay, today we're talking about the endocrine system. Endocrine's a big word. Endocrine means basically a gland that produces hormones. Hormones are not evil. Hormones create messages into the cell. If your cells were open all the time to receive messages, we would have chaos. The cells will tell the brain, via right here, the hypothalamus, they'll tell the brain when you need something. So the hypothalamus is basically a regulator. It tells you if your tank is full or if your tank is empty. Well, right now, I chose to record instead of eat lunch, so my tank is empty. So my body's telling me it's time to eat. Well, you either have done that or you're getting ready to. So you have low energy, right? So your body tells you to eat. So here we get some food in our mouth and we eat and we're happy, and the body says, oh, my tank is full now, so you stop wanting to eat. Well, what happens is when you eat is you get sugar in your bloodstream. Your brain says, oh, we have sugar, so it goes back to full, but it has to do something with that sugar. That sugar just can't hang out at the cells. As you've watched on Facebook or YouTube or all kinds of places, we know that sugar is destructive. Sugar can cause nails to pretty much dissolve. So can you guess what that does to your body? It causes blindness, it causes gangrene, it causes you to need dialysis, all of those things. So we don't want sugar hanging out in the cells. So the body says there's lots of sugar, so it tells the pituitary to give a message to one of these endocrine glands. One of those glands is the pancreas. It tells the pancreas, we've got sugar hanging out in the bloodstream. The pancreas then releases insulin, which is great. Insulin helps get the sugar in the cell, and your body's happy. It's not getting any more messages. We're not messing with the pancreas. Now, the reason I'm doing this particular one separate is because I want to show you how all of these work together. So the body says that it needs sugar, so it goes to the pancreas. But the sugar, the pancreas affects all of these other organs. When people have a sugar regulation problem, and we'll go into that in great detail, but when they have a sugar regulation problem, they also have a lot of other problems that come along the way. And this is why, and I want to explain this applies to every single one of my classes, because this is a system. You cannot affect one part of the system without affecting the entire system. So you have the stomach. The stomach is part of the system. It produces, these pyloric glands produce a hormone called gastrin. Gastrin is what helps you digest. So a lot of times when people have, say, a pancreas problem, they also have digestive problems. Most people have gastric reflux. So now you can see how those relate. Most people, here's an ovary down here, you may not be able to see it very well, but these are all in the same pathways. So you might have polycystic ovaries, you might have problems with menopause, you might have endometriosis. All of these work together. They all get messages to the hypothalamus. They all go to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland goes to 13 separate hormones or messengers. And if there's something that interferes with how these work, it affects the whole thing. It's not uncommon for diabetic or someone with thyroid problems or someone with female hormone problems, see how we're going there, to have AFib. AFib is one of the most common complications of an endocrine disorder. The thymus gland, I don't think I've ever met anyone with an endocrine disorder that does not have a low immune system. The thymus gland is one of those that the pituitary goes to, and this controls your immune system. The next one we're going to talk about is the thyroid. The thyroid has everything to do with your hormones, and so it's not unusual at all to have what's called hypothyroid, or this here, Hashimoto's. They all go together. So when someone has Hashimoto's, I'm going to be checking their blood sugar regulation because it all goes together. The adrenal glands is the last one I'm really going to talk about. The adrenal glands produce what's called cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. If you're not regulating your sugar well, you have a problem with your cortisol. This is interesting. If you have high cortisol, That means it takes and steals, robs from your progesterone. These two right here are in perfect balance. If you have low adrenal glands, that means you typically have low thyroid. If you have low adrenal glands, you typically will have blood sugar regulation problems. You're not going to be tested on this. All I really wanted to do was give you an idea of how all of this works together. What makes our clinic different is the fact that we don't just chase your insulin issues. It's not just, this is not all you are. You are not just an HA1C number. You're not just your blood sugar number. You're not just your triglyceride number. If you're thyroid, you're not just your T3, your T4, and your TSH. There's so much more to it. We put the whole picture together for you, and that's what makes us different.